Are you afraid to speak English? Then this lesson is for you. It's for anyone who feels fear when speaking English. If it doesn't sound like you, that's great. Maybe this video will still inspire you, encourage you to speak more, or help you understand people who do struggle with fears. After watching it, you might become more supportive or even more compassionate. Or maybe you have fears in other areas of life, not just in English. So you're welcome to watch it too. Okay, let's dive in. If we haven't met before, my name is Magdalena. I'm a qualified English teacher. I'm not a native speaker and I'm not trying to pretend to be one. I am who I am, but I love English and I love teaching it. English has been one of my passions for many years, and it makes me really happy when I can share useful, practical, real-life things with my learners. I can relate to your struggles. I can relate to the challenges you have to face, and even to your fears, believe me. Okay, let me take my image off the screen now so you can see the slides clearly. In my last video, I shared what your main goal for learning English should be. I hope it inspired and encouraged you. By the way, I don't know how much time most YouTubers spend creating content, and honestly, I don't even call myself a YouTuber. I'm an English teacher who simply wants to help learners with practical tips on how they can improve their English outside the classroom, even without a teacher, if they can't afford lessons. But it takes me quite a lot of time to make these videos, to plan them, and to collect my thoughts. But to be honest, I need encouragement. If no one likes or comments on my videos, I feel like maybe no one needs this content. Then it seems like it's not helpful, and it becomes a waste of time. So if you think my videos are useful, practical, or helpful, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. It will encourage me a lot. Thanks in advance. All right, first let's talk about fear. What is it? Fear is something that hasn't happened yet. Do you agree? Again, fear is something that hasn't happened yet. Yes, you are right. Maybe its root is in something that actually happened in the past. But in most cases, we are afraid of something that hasn't happened yet. Something we think will happen. So basically, we fear something that is intangible. Something we can't see, can't touch, can't talk to, and can't fully experience, but it still feels very real. It can cause anxiety or even depression. Fear can rob us of joy, paralyze us, or make us freeze. In many cases, fear is a liar. It can become a stronghold or even a slave driver. Is it okay to have fears? What do you think? Well, since we live in a broken world and we are not perfect, it's okay to have fears. We are imperfect people living in an imperfect world, so it's normal to have fears. For example, we may be afraid that we will lose someone or something important. We will fail. We will be rejected. We will embarrass ourselves. We won't be good enough. We will make a mistake. People will laugh at us. Do you know your fears? Can fear be good? Sure it can. If you're afraid, if you're stressed, and yes, if you're making mistakes, it means you are growing. It means you're doing something. Fears and anxieties are opportunities to grow, to improve, and also to become more understanding, compassionate, and empathetic with others. If you feel fear, it also means you're human. Robots aren't afraid, right? You're not a robot, but a human being. Should we suppress our fears? Do you know the word suppress? When we suppress something, we prevent it from being seen or expressed. For example, we can suppress our emotions. We can suppress our anger, for example. So, should we suppress our fears? I think we shouldn't. Don't deny your fears. When you deny something, you say it's not true. Okay, so don't deny your fears. Don't keep saying to yourself, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, if you are afraid. Instead, be compassionate, be patient to yourself. Remember, you are imperfectly imperfect and perfectly imperfect, both. But as an adult, you can make choices for yourself. If you have a little bit of anxiety, that's normal. We can't get rid of all our negative emotions. We are human beings, remember? We can't be happy all the time. Don't suppress the feelings, just don't let them control you. Maybe now we should talk about the opposite of fear. What is the opposite of fear? Most people would probably say the opposite of fear is bravery. You know the word brave, right? Showing no fear. Would you say the same? That bravery is the opposite of fear? Then let's talk about bravery for a moment. What is bravery? Is it the absence of fear? Is it when you're not afraid at all? But just think about a firefighter or a soldier on the battlefield. Do you think they're not afraid? They are. But despite their fear, they still do what they are supposed to do. So, why do they take action even when they're afraid? Maybe it's because they don't allow fear to stop them. Maybe they are driven by a stronger force, something more powerful than fear. Could it be that the stronger force overrides fear? Of course, every situation is different. But when a soldier is ready to give his life for his country, I want to believe that his fear is being replaced by love, love for his people and his country. The same might be true for firefighters or police officers. Do you think they're not afraid? Of course they are, but their faithfulness is stronger than their fear. Now, are you afraid to speak English? Maybe you think these examples have nothing to do with speaking a language. Love, faithfulness? What are you talking about? But my point is this. It is possible to override your fears so they don't paralyze you. Let me repeat. It is possible to override your fears so they don't paralyze you. We can't turn off the part of the brain that feels fear or stress. But fears, doubts, and confusion can show us what we need to face, admit, or solve. The good news is that we can use our brain to manage our brain. We can override how it works. Remember, we are both imperfectly imperfect and perfectly imperfect. We all experience failure and rejection. Even teachers do, believe me. Making mistakes means you're using the language. It's proof that you're learning. Can you think of a skill you can master without making mistakes? There's no such skill. Okay, what can you do? I think it all has to do with perception. Perception is what you believe, the way you think. Have you heard this quote? Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. This quote is widely attributed to Charles R. Swindoll, a well-known American pastor, author, and educator. Basically, what this quote is trying to say that while we cannot control all the events that happen in our lives, we have the power to choose our reactions. We aren't responsible for everything that happens to us. We just can't be responsible, right, for everything that happens to us. But we are responsible for what we do with our feeling, how we deal with our past experiences. You are responsible for your actions, for how you perceive the world. Let me share another quote with you. Epictetus said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Have you heard of Epictetus? He was a famous Roman Stoic philosopher who was born a slave and later gained his freedom. He had a physical disability. He was lame. He was unable to walk, likely due to abuse in slavery. But his teachings emphasize inner freedom and responsibility. Let's read his quote again. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. He also said, lameness is an impediment to the leg, but not to the will. Impediment is something that makes progress, movement, or achieving something difficult or impossible. So in modern terms, he's saying being lame affects only my leg, not my ability to live a good life. That part is up to me. So what is the message for us? Your circumstances do not define you. Your response to them does. Again, your circumstances do not define you. Your response to them does. Can anyone guarantee that you will be safe and everything will be okay? Of course not. But you can decide how you're going to react and respond to what happens to you. You have the full capacity of making the decisions for yourself. Okay, so what can you do? Let's make it more relevant to your fears of speaking English. It is possible that if you're afraid of what others think about your English, maybe it's because you really want them to like or approve of you. Do you know the word to approve of someone? It's to have a positive opinion of you. So you want others to like you, to have a positive opinion of you, to approve of you. But when you do that, you give them power over you. And you need to take that power back. And only you can do it. By the way, if you find this video helpful and inspiring, please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and give it a thumbs up. Your feedback, positive or negative, is greatly appreciated. Now, I encourage you to ask yourself these questions. How do you feel when you speak English? Do you feel afraid in other areas of life too, or only with English? When did you first realize that speaking English made you feel uncomfortable? Do you remember a specific situation when you felt really stressed or awkward when speaking English? What happened? What exactly makes you nervous or afraid? Are you a perfectionist? Are you afraid to make mistakes? Are you afraid of failure? You may have failed, but you're not a failure. Please remember this. Let me repeat this, okay? This is so important that you guys remember. You may have failed, and we have all failed, right? But you're not a failure. And each failure shows that you are trying. You are precious, valuable, and unique. Please remember this, okay? I'm not my failure. I am precious, valuable, and unique. You can say this to yourself. And just on a side note, nobody's English is perfect, not even native speakers. Okay, the next question you should ask yourself. Are you comparing yourself to others who speak better? Who? What's the worst thing that could happen if you make mistakes in your English? Do you think people judge you when you speak English? If so, why do you think that? Now, we make assumptions, right, about what the world will think of us. Do you know the word assumption? It's something that you accept as true without question or proof. So we assume, or we make assumptions, or accept something to be true without question or proof, but in most cases, it's not true. We just assume it. Of course, there are jerks, immature people everywhere, but most people will not criticize you or laugh at you for your mistakes, but they will want to connect with you, listen to your story. But what if they don't like me, you ask? What if they laugh at me? What if I sound awkward? You can't please everyone, okay? Someone once said, you should only care about the opinion of the person you want to be like. Can you hear me? Let me repeat. You should only care about the opinion of the person you want to be like. I think this is so good. Okay, the next question you should ask yourself, are you worried about your accent? Now, let me say something here. Maybe you want to have a different accent. It's okay to imitate native speakers at first, but later, try to find your own voice. You should want to sound like yourself. Don't be a copycat, okay? As a side note, everyone has an accent, even native speakers. It's all about perception. You just sound different from someone else. Your accent shows that you know more than one language, and that's something to be proud of. Of course, if your accent makes it hard for others to understand you, it's a good idea to work on it. You can take some accent training lessons. But remember, don't try to be a copycat. Find your own voice. Don't live for people's approval. Remember this word approval? There's real freedom in being yourself. Okay, question number 10. What kind of environment would make you feel safer and more comfortable practicing English? How do you feel when you hear others making mistakes in English? Do you judge them? Imagine you're talking to a foreigner who's speaking your native language. Would you focus on their mistakes, or would you listen to their story and try to connect with them? I hope you'd want to connect with them. Have you ever had a moment when speaking English felt enjoyable? What was different in that situation? Let's be also positive, not just negative, okay? So think of a moment when speaking English felt enjoyable and what was different in that situation. And what would change in your life if speaking English felt natural and comfortable? What would it feel like to speak freely and confidently? Can you imagine that? Let me challenge you to think about these questions and answer them for yourself. Now, if you want, but only if you want, you could step out of your comfort zone and write some of your answers in the comment section below. Or if you're brave enough, you could record your answers and send me the audio. If you do this, I'll listen to your recording and give you one-time feedback. I'm offering this for free. I won't charge anything, I promise. Who knows, maybe this could break the ice and help you overcome your fear of speaking English. Wow, wouldn't that be awesome? So, if you have a fear of speaking English, maybe you can look deeper and realize that this fear was already there before you had to speak English. Speaking English just made it stronger. For example, I'll give you my own example. My fear of speaking English with native speakers was connected to my poor self-image. In the past, I always cared too much about what others thought of me. Speaking English just made that fear louder. We all carry baggage and fears with us. But the good news is you can override fear. You just need a plan of hope. And hope is a decision. Remember, hope is a decision. You can even talk to this part of your brain. If you read the Bible, you'll see that talking to yourself, to your own soul, is very common. It's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay to say, I'm afraid right now. I'm worried that people will judge me. But don't stay there. You need a plan of hope. Think of speaking English as an opportunity to connect with others. Yes, even when taking an exam, that examiner or interlocutor is a human being, another person, and you're given the opportunity to share something valuable with them, something of your own story. Now, honestly, it might be that you're afraid because you feel you don't have enough knowledge. Then you just need to study and practice more, right? Where could you start? I think learning how to make small talk is one of the best things you can practice, the best starting point. If you're interested in my small talk series, watch the sneak peek. The link is below. So, write a list of things that create anxiety in your life. Next to it, write a decision you should make. Remember, reward comes after you take a risk. Let's say you struggle with money anxieties, just an example, okay? Instead of fighting the anxiety itself, say yes to something good. Generosity, sharing, and supporting others, and be grateful. Grateful means thankful. Instead of just saying no to fear or anxiety, say yes to connection with people. Just to touch on one thing, what if you don't like English? I would say try to make it personal. Do you know anyone who is an English speaker? If not, think of your favorite actor, celebrity, or find a podcast on a topic you love when the message becomes more important than the language. And please don't watch videos that are feeding you fear. Like, if you want to be fluent, you have to speak like a native speaker. Watch things that inspire you and give you hope, okay? While learning a language, you will become more understanding, empathetic to others' mistakes, struggles, because you will know what it means to make mistakes. Remember connection and not perfection. Nobody's English is perfect, not even your teachers, not even native speakers. So instead of trying to speak perfect English, your goal should be to connect with people using English as a great tool. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Be willing to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Accept your limitations. We all have them. Dream big, but let me tell you something. You might not like it. Okay, dream big, but not everything is possible. You can't be perfect. There's always something to learn. According to the Global Language Monitor, GLM, there are 1,019,729 words in the English language. That's a lot, right? Now, the GLM estimates that in the modern world, listen to this one, a new word is created every 98 minutes. Every 98 minutes, a new word is created. Can you imagine? Each year, an estimated 800 or 1,000 new words are added to English language dictionaries. So, don't try to be perfect. You have to believe in the value you have to offer. You want to sound like yourself. If you're working hard on your English and you're doing your best, be proud of yourself. You don't need to be able to communicate in every possible situation, just in the situations you are in. For example, and I know I'm repeating myself here, I'm sorry, I truly believe every English learner should be able to make small talk. So again, if you're interested in my small talk video series, watch the sneak peek by clicking the link below in the description. If you take this course, you will be able to make small talk like never before. To sum it all up, let me give you a personal example about one of my precious students. I changed her name. I'll call her Amanda. She's an English learner and is doing her best to communicate in English. She also has her struggles and fears, just like everyone else. But when Amanda's beloved cat died, we had a lesson about grieving a pet. Amanda told me stories about her kitty and shared her special memories. We cried together. Can you guess what I didn't care about at all while listening to Amanda? Her mistakes. They simply disappeared because of the value and beauty of her story. People feel the same way when you try to connect with them. They want to hear you and get to know who you are. And I'm sure people will like you because it's more than just speaking correctly. It's the way you communicate. It's the way you are paying attention to what others say. And it's about your character. Sorry, but if your English sounds almost perfect, but if you're a jerk, people won't care how good your English is. It's about how you treat others, your respect, kindness, and sympathy. Your identity shows in your behavior and actions. Remember, you are valuable. You're made in God's own image, even if you don't believe this. And you have something to share. It matters what you want to share. Yes, even with the hotel receptionist saying, "We love this hotel. Thank you so much for your kindness." Or with the cashier saying, "Thank you so much for your help." You can make someone's day. But you need a plan of hope. Again, remember, you're not perfect and you won't be perfect. And that's okay. Making mistakes means you are moving forward and learning. Also remember that you're valuable and every conversation is a chance to share something meaningful with someone. People will focus on who you are and what you say, not your mistakes. Choose connection over perfection. It's your personal journey. Try to enjoy it. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your attention. In my next video, I'd like to talk about what it really means to be fluent in speaking English, at least in my opinion, and also how you could start thinking in English with some practical things. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, just give me a thumbs up, leave your comments, record your answers and email them to me. I'll be more than happy to listen to them, get to know you a little bit better, and I promise to send you my feedback. So thank you so much again. I wish you the most wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.